Hey, how are you? And this video is all you need to know about jump codes in Unity. So basically meaning you'll know how to make a jump code, make double, triple or even quadruple jump according to your need. A jump in which the player can control how high the player can jump. A jump speed dampener, and as well as how to make your jump code a little bit more responsive. So there will be timestamp for all of these sections so that you don't have to watch the whole video all at once, or you can watch the whole video in bite-sized pieces. And I would recommend doing this in some other project than your main project so that you won't have any problems when you implement it in your main project. So now all you have to do is hit the like button and let's get started. So first thing we need to do is make our player jump. This is a project that I have made in which the player moves left and right when you press left and right. If you want to download it and follow along, you can do that. Link is in the description. Now let's make a player jump script in our player game object. Open it, and in this jump script, first of all remove all of this. And then let's add a jump force value, meaning public float jump force. Now in this code we need to call the physics component that is in our player. If you don't have that, then click add component and write rigid body 2D and then click on rigid body 2D to add it. So in C# write public rigid body 2D player RB. Save this and back in Unity, in our player game object, in this player RB section, drag and drop your rigid body component. Now let's make a fixed update function, and inside it write if input.getKey down, and inside the small bracket write keycode.space, meaning if we press the space key. And now inside the curly bracket write player RB.addForce, and inside the bracket write vector2.up multiplied by jump force, comma force mode.impulse. And this is all you need to do to make your player jump. So save this and go to your game, and in your player game object give it some jump force. And now when you hit play and press on space key, you can see that the player jumps. Now let's have a small recap. So first of all, we made a value to add force to our jump, which we have set up in our inspector. Then took a reference to our physics component so that we can control our player. And then in a fixed update, we told the computer if we are pressing the space key, then player will jump. Now we have made our jump script, but you might realize that when you keep on pressing on the jump key, then the player keeps on jumping. And this is because the player doesn't know if it is jumping or it is grounded. And for that we need to give our ground a tag so that our player can know if it is grounded. So in our ground game object, in this untag section, first of all make a tag and call it capital GROUND. Just remember this spelling, and now go to your ground game object again and then click on the tag section and click on ground. Now in our jump code above our fixed update write on collision enter 2D, and here instead of writing collision write other. Now this on collision enter 2D checks the collision between two objects, and we can make it check if the player is colliding with the ground or not, meaning if the player is grounded or not. So inside this function write if other.gameObject.tag is equal to, and in quotations write capital GROUND. That is why I told you to remember the spelling, otherwise it won't work. Now if we are colliding with the ground, then here something should happen that will tell the player that we are grounded. And for that, at the top write private bool is grounded, and here write is grounded is equal to true. Now in this if statement, which makes our player jump, we have to also check if we are grounded or not. So just write and grounded is equal to true, or you can just write and is grounded. Now inside this if statement below the code that makes our player jump, write is grounded is equal to false. So now if we press the space key and player is grounded, then the player will jump, and once you jump the player will not be grounded and the is grounded will be false. So until you land back on the ground, you won't be able to jump. Now save this, and when you play the game and press the jump key, you can only jump once. And you can't jump until you reach the ground. Now we have a proper jump code, and now let's set up double or even triple or even like quadruple jump. And for that, all you need to do is, instead of this isGrounded boolean, write public integer jump amount and private integer number of jumps. Now save this, and in Unity, in the jump amount, write the amount of jump you need for your game. So if you want double jump, write 2, if you want triple jump, write 3, if you want quadruple jump, 4, according to your need. I want triple jump, so I'm gonna write 3. Now back in Unity, in our onCollision function, comment this line of code like we did up here, and then write number of jumps is equal to jump amount. And now when the player touches the ground, the number of jump will be equal to the jump amount. In my case, that is 3. Now in your if statement here, instead of checking if your player is grounded or not, we need to check if the number of jumps is greater than 0. And here, instead of isGrounded is equal to false, write number of jumps minus minus. Now to see if it works or not, just write public instead of private here on this number of jump so that we can see when we are playing. Now save this, and in our game, when you hit play, you can see at the start that the number of jump is equal to 3, and when you jump, it goes to 2 and 1 and 0, and when you land back, it goes back to 3, and you can also see that I can triple jump. You can set this value to anything that you like, and it will jump that many times. Now you have a decent jump code as well as double, triple or quadruple jump, but you may also want to make the user control how high or low the user can jump. And for that, in your jump code, write public float gravity change value. And down here, let's make a function called private gravity changer. And in this function, write if, and inside bracket write player rb.velocity.y is less than 0, meaning if we start falling down, then inside the curly bracket write player rb.gravityscale is equal to gravity change value. Meaning if we have kept our gravity change value as 3, then whenever we start falling down, our gravity will change to 3 times normal gravity, so we'll fall down faster. Now down here write else if player rb.velocity.y is greater than 0, meaning that you are jumping, and not, the exclamation means not, input.getKey keycode.space. Now this line of code means if you are jumping and you're not holding the jump key, that means you're not holding the space key, then inside the bracket write player rb.gravityscale is equal to gravity change value. Then below that write else player rb.gravityscale is equal to 1. Now let's say our gravity, we're gonna keep it as 5. Then here when you are falling, your gravity will be 5. When you are holding your jump key, your gravity will be 1, but when you stop holding the jump key, that means you'll start falling as well, your gravity will be 5 again. And this will control how high or low our player can jump. But in normal cases, our gravity will always be 1. So with this, let's go to our game, and here you should set your gravity and jump force in such a way that if you have double jumps as well as this varying type of jump, both of them should work. So for me, keeping the jump force as 10 and gravity change value as 5 works really great. So I'm going to do that, and let's hit play, and you can see now I have a short, a medium and a long jump. And it's according to how long I press on the jump key. And hey, my double jump works as well. Now everything has been set up, and when you start playing the game, you realize something. Your jumps are very long. Not vertically, but horizontally. And that might be bothering you a lot. So to fix that, we have to slow down our movement. So in our jump script, first of all, write public boolean is jump. And in this onCollision, write is jumping is equal to false, because when we are landed on the ground, we're not jumping. And in this if statement, which makes our player jump, write is jumping is equal to true, because when we are jumping, we're jumping. Come on, man. Now in my case, I have a different script for jumping as well as for moving. So if you have same script for both of them, then you don't need to do this. So now at the top of your movement script, write public player jump jump. This is a reference to our player jump script, and write public float speed dampener. Now this line of code makes my player move. So to dampen his speed, when you are jumping, you just have to write if jump dot is jumping, meaning if is jumping is true, and inside the bracket just copy this movement code, and inside another bracket write speed minus speed dampener. Now down here write else. Now inside this bracket cut and paste this code. Now save this, go back to Unity and set your speed dampening value according to your need, and then drag and drop your player jump script here. Now as you can see, your jump speed is a bit slower than your run speed, and your jump feels a lot more better. Now mostly there is only one problem that you might be facing, and that is that your jump code doesn't feel responsive. Meaning sometimes you press the jump key and the player doesn't jump. Now the first reason that is happening is because you're using fixed update. Now fixed update is good for doing physics-based stuff like changing the gravity, making the player jump. It's great for those things, but it is not good for taking input. So first of all, write at the top private bool can jump, and in an update function write if input.getKeyDown keycode.space, meaning if you press the space key, and inside a curly bracket write can jump is equal to true. Now in our fixed update where we have the jump code, remove this input.getKey, and above this if statement write another if statement by writing if can jump, meaning if your can jump is equal to true, and inside the curly bracket just copy this jump code and paste it there. Now what's happening here is if you press your space key, then your can jump will be true. And when your can jump is true and you have more than 0 number of jumps, then you can jump. Now inside this jump code write can jump is equal to false, save it, go back to Unity. Now you can see that it is much more responsive, but yet it is still not that responsive. And that is because we are pressing our jump key just before we are about to land on the ground. So to solve that code, we just have to make our jump code record us pressing the jump key for like 0.2 seconds. It sounds hard, but it's not that hard. And for that, we just have to write in our jump code at the top public float jump key press time and private float jump key press record. Now in this update function above our if statement write jump key pressed record minus equal to time dot delta time. And inside our if statement remove this code here and write jump key press record is equal to jump key press time. Now in this if statement write if jump key press record is greater than 0, and down here instead of writing can jump write jump key press record is equal to 0. So what's going on here is that in this jump key press time we will put a value on how long we want the computer to remember our jump, which is going to be 0.2 seconds. And now every time we press the jump key, our jump press record will be equal to 0.2. And with this line of code, it will be equal to 0. Meaning by using this and this line of code, the computer will record us pressing the jump key for 0.2 seconds. Now in this if statement, it says that if you hit the jump key, then for 0.2 seconds, if your amount of jump is more than 0, then you can jump. So save this. Now let's set it up and let's put our jump key press time, which is going to be 0.2. And now you can see your game feels a lot more responsive. Well, this is the end of this video. Did I miss something? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and if you like the video, hitting the like button and subscribing would be really helpful for this channel. And if you watched the whole video, then in the comment section write I finished it all, because I want to thank all of you who watched the whole video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. I'll see you next time.